A very good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's masterclass titled Biotechnology in Space, the New Career Orbit, organized by the School of Technology, Sai University. We're so delighted to welcome Dr. Kalimuthu, Assistant Professor at Sai University, as today's distinguished speaker. Dr. Kalimuthu brings over a decade of rich experience in therapeutic discovery, having worked across diverse domains including infectious diseases, inflammation, metabolic disorders, and space medicine. He holds a PhD degree and has also been awarded prestigious recognitions, including Research Excellence Awards from the University of California and the University of Oxford. His research journey began with postdoctoral fellowships at UC Davis and Oxford University. He has collaborated with NASA Space Technology Research Institute, where he played a key role in space medicine discovery initiatives. Dr. Kalimuthu holds a US patent, has authored several impactful publications in journals like JBC, IEEE, and Medical Virology, and continues to contribute to cutting edge drug discovery for emerging health challenges. With that, please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Kalimuthu, sir,
Thank
to
you.
today's session. And thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Nellai. It's a very good morning, all of you. And then also I welcome the participant who is even the Saturday, so you all just enthusiastic to join for the talk today. I hope that I can give a fruitful information to all of you, and then we can start our session. If you have any question or any further discussion, and then end up the presentation that we can have a further discussion. Now I can just briefly introduce what that we are going to be discussed today. Then I can share the PowerPoint slide, which is easy for all of us to discuss for the today topic. I can share the slide now. Yeah. Can all of you visible the slides now?
Yes, sir, the slide is visible. Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you. So again, just to introduce the topic today is mainly for biotechnology in space for the new carrier orbit. Is very innovative and the new area for the discussion. We all, I think, the students and then participants, they all well aware about biotechnology in general. What is a biotechnology? And then the biotechnology has different entities like various discipline. And then how the biotechnology going to be support for the space, mainly the space. Why that we want to discuss about the space specifically with the biotechnology. So there are that we know that the space is mainly occupied with engineering and then also for the aeronautics and all with the engineering discipline. And then why specifically the biotech is getting into the space biology or the space research, what is important, or as a student or as a participant, you may be a researcher or students, how that biotechnology can support for the space and then also for what's going on around the world, and then also that as a students that you can, what is a career or the innovative things that you can explore in the future, that we can discuss one by one. And then, yeah, before getting into the main area of discussion, just for the curiosity, where we are in the Earth, uh, just we all know about the total population that we are hitting for almost 8.7 million living species on Earth. So, like this, all the different species, including all the animals and the plants or the any microbes. So everything included is like 8.7 million living species on Earth. So Earth is like approximately is there are different planets, but the only is so far the Earth is living things is existing in Earth only. But these many species are still is there, and then and every day is expanding. So specifically like a human, we are currently is over 8.2 billion people all over the world. So like, can you imagine the number of population is growing demand in every day? And then also for the different species, like other than the human, we are like 8.7 million as a species in the earth. But what is the land area in earth? And then how much the capacity the land has to occupy and then hold for currently is available things. For example, it's like approximately 71% of the earth's surface is covered by ocean that is not suitable for living for the human. But there are other species like marine animals, and they all existing. But the for the human specifically, 71 is all person already covered with the ocean. And then living land is a very less, including for the desertification or other like dry land. They all is only is a 33%. So as a human or other as a terrestrial animals or the plants, we have to sustain within the 30% of the available area. But are we sufficient to sustain within this area? And then what's going on to like disturbing the regular day-to-day life, and then what we can is advancing with the biotechnology. As in, why is a biotechnology specifically with the biotechnology is mainly for the biological system or organism to develop any products or for the human benefits or combined with the biotechnology to solve the agriculture or healthcare industrial problem. And then biotech is every day is expanding to the new field like medical biotechnology, marine biotechnology, and then also for the medical biotechnology, industrial biotechnology. So though this expanding to the different field, but the still we have to, as I said earlier, the land is only 33%. On the land, what is the natural challenges that we are facing every day? Though that we can advance with the science, but what are the challenges we have specifically with the natural challenges in Earth? So natural hazards, like 101 says, like a dry, like a completely for the dryness, like without the rain or the water, the proper water, is a dry land is a major concern for the agriculture. And then also forest fire. As a students or the participant, you may heard about it every year in Australia or the California. So they keep just getting for the several hectare land is getting the fire, like a forest fire, or they call a bush fire. So these continuously destroying for the available green area in the specifically in Australia and then also for California. So the nature is meant to have easily to getting the forest fire. And then other like area like volcanoes that is on and off that we getting for the info like new volcanoes like volcano eruption and then also the landslide. The recent report from the Kerala, the Idiki district, the last the rain landslide that we all know this completely is um, major incident happened in within India. And then also tsunami that we all know about the 2015 is a major concern for the tsunami. But still the worldwide is Japan and then all other region is getting the earthquake. So likewise, so nature is already is giving for different warning that is like threatening to the humankind and also for other living species in earth. So we all disturbed with the natural calamities in every day. And on the other hand, as a human, so we and then animals also in the living area in the earth, we are getting for emerging and re-emerging infection. That is also is the highest threat for the mankind, specifically that we are experiencing this current generation. Like over 7 million confirmed death happened for the COVID. COVID is started as a 2022 as a December. We call it as a Wuhan virus, whereas a 2019 is a December as a happy everybody want to be in for a travel around the world, but the people carry the disease and then distributed across the world. Then we call this a biggest lockdown ever in our history that we had. And then also other like a disease like a disease like a Nipah virus. Nipah virus in India, we are getting every year a threat like Kerala and then it's West Bengal. And then we are getting the Nipah virus and then also for Ebola in African region. And then also dengue that as usual, every year that we have dengue fever and then malaria, that all is like a thing. But the natural changes like a desert modification, and then also for the polar region is melting, and then the hidden viruses hiding on the polar region is expanding to the worldwide, and then giving for the new disease and the new threat for the humankind. So like a nature also is giving trouble, and then also for the disease is a re-emerging is a potential threat for the humankind. What we are doing with the other step that to survivor. So that's a stepping in for a marine biotechnology. Since the marine is a whole for the 70 percentage in all over the like a world, it's like this region where is a hub to have potential to have some innovation to the support for the human. The marine biotechnology is a new area research like the last 2 3 decades is a keep getting for the novel products like we are getting for the antibiotics, anti-cancer drug, and then also for the biofuels, industrial enzymes. So a lot of things is innovated from the marine biotechnology is one of the hub areas going on for the research and innovation. But other science, what support for the agriculture and other forest is, I said, for the desert is like we all know the Sahara, and then also for the other like African region. So they are is a major area is like annually is not getting the enough rainwater. But the rainwater is that they have a season to get the rain, but the rain is not going to be within the land. Then land going to be completely dry and then not suitable for the human survival. But as India and then China, and then also for the other African region, they are putting the innovative idea to hold the water and then making the new step into the agriculture and then getting for the forest, the new forest idea to be in the desert area to get for the next thing for the human to get the support for the either food or the other accessibility from the forest. So the land is getting for the modification to be forest or agriculture. So that also other part of the things is going on other than the marine. But are we satisfied with the things that even we getting from the marine, or we getting from the modification the desert area to be agriculture or forest? As such a single Earth is only is evident among all other planet. We only is so far is evident as a human living area that we have here. And then are we exploring new things? What will be the next thing that we can do? And then life beyond the earth, whether is it possible? Or what step to be taken to explore? So that is a big things is going on worldwide that you all know about the NASA and then also for India's ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, and then also for the European Space Research Organization. The China also have specific space research organization. They are putting for the new step to explore how the life is existing other than the earth, and what other planet can support for the living entity for the human. If something is happen for the earth, whether the human can be expanded to the other planet that can have a new life. So that's the biggest research going on worldwide. And then what will be the challenges that we can say that we can, okay, I can go to the Mars, something happen in earth, I can do myself and then I can go to the Mars or moon, that we are keep telling. But what are the scientifically, what are the challenges are available? That's a, as a researcher that we have to understand. So being in away from the earth, so that's a simple little bit of physics. Earth is meant to have a proper gravity. So the gravity is one that is keeping is a stability, and then even we can walk, and then plant our building, and then everything. How is it stabilized in Earth? Is that is a main thing that is mainly based on the gravity. But when you are stepping out from the Earth, that we are just diluting the gravity force, that we almost going to be float in the yeah. So that is beyond the earth space. When we go outside, the gravity is a major concern that will be diluted, and then we are going to be lighter than the, because no gravity will expect like will be on the other region in the planet. So such a kind of the gravity, why the gravity is a matter, what are the gravities are doing with the our system? For example, as a human, we exist or we habituated to being in the earth, and then we have a gravity force so that we can have a stabilized system like our blood circulation or our bone growth or the brain fluid on all other like immune systems. And then this all is within the control that can be adapted for the gravity, and then also for the plant in earth, like a root can go for the geotrophism that we call it as a getting towards the earth down. And then the plants, the shoot, like the leaf area or the stem area, there is a look through the phototropism that can grow upward. So that is a kind of a balanced setting in the earth, like either plant or human. But when you are exploring that, can I be in a Mars or moon, or I want to go to the deep space? What can happen? Like if I'm ready to go, this will make enormous changes in health, like a bone weakness, and then also for cardiovascular disease, and then immunity also going to be stepped down, and then brain is a cerebral fluid, and other system will be as it is getting the different motion in the brain system. So this all is triggering to be completely different level of medical support that we need before we getting into the space. So that's why the International Space Research Agency, ISS, is in a space, is 400 kilometers away from the Earth. They are just keeping the space station, and then they are doing last 1 decades like a complete innovation, whether human can survive and what are the other medical or other stuff that we need to future exploration in the space mission that we need. That research is continuously is going on. And then keeping this background, and then as a professor being in a sci university, what I'm bringing the experience in a space biotechnology, and then what I have exposed earlier as the intro from the Mr. Nella, he given the brief intro, but where earlier I have been working, and then what I had experience in a space biology, and then I was working with the space like a NASA Space Center. The center is bringing for all the requirement for the new life, like origin of life. That I think you all heard about the movie called Martian movie. The guy who's lived with the in space, and then he started to have a food and then medicine. What he can do some innovation, like growing the potato, and then he is struggling to get the water, or even he is struggling to breathe. So all the things is a well documented in the movie called Martian. But if you are believing that, the same that movie that we made as a research and innovation, that we developed the center under the NASA, the center called the Center for Utilization of Biological Engineering in Space. We call CUBES, CUB as like a cubes. So whether that we can have like a cubes like a structure we can develop in the space specifically for the Martian environment, and then we can do all the innovation like how to new origin life can begin with the different planet. That is a research that we take over as a biological background, and then medical background that I'm having. So I was had to take over the responsibility for the innovating the new medical, how the space medicine that I can support for the astronaut. That part that I had, but there are different domain environmental domain, agriculture domain, and then microbiology, system engineering, and then 3D printing. There are different entity like with the Stanford and then Caltech. We all together we made this innovative then breakthrough research where that human can be origin new life. That research that we bring it. So that had been successfully like a test bed that we have done for the research. Keeping that experience, currently I'm also exploring for the Sai University, that where that space biotechnology that can be is interesting to the students, that also they can have a knowledge transformation that I can give. So that's my background where that I'm bringing the space biotechnology. And then specifically as a student that you can have the question, why I want be space biotechnology. So why specifically that I need space biotechnology, that I'm happy with the marine biotechnology or medical biotechnology and then other type of things. Why space? The biotechnology can support for the space other than the engineering domain. The space for the aeronautic engineer, chemical engineer, propulsion or the physics. Other than that, why is a biotechnology is a matter that to for the space? So the space biotechnology is a human preparing to deep space mission, like a planetary settlement. That you all know for the currently that we are getting for the SpaceX for the Elon Musk. He had like a car like earlier, so he put a lot of energy to have like a battery car and all the car automation. But now he's stepping to the space mission, and then he's as one of the private agency. He can have support with the NASA, and then he can give enormous research and development to have future settlement in space. So that's the things going on. And then biotechnology is a major thing. Is a when the human need to be in space, we have to understand how the challenges like a radiation. Radiation is major things in space: radiation and microgravity, and then isolation. So being is mentally prepared to be isolated, and then also resource limitation. So all the luxury life that we have on Earth, like we have is a different lifestyle is a continuous. Every day we are getting the upgraded lifestyle. Even one example is a phone, mobile phone. We are getting is a completely upgraded every year. It's a new version, new digitalized world that we are getting. But being left with the new planet, what the resource that you are going to have? Almost nothing. As a new origin, is like how the life is origin is in Earth. Same thing should have plan for the new planet. So which means the being isolation and the resource limitations are major things. And then also as a biotechnology can provide as a biological solution for life support, how the primary things are oxygen, then health and food, and then also how to be sustainable. The word that you are keep getting for the sustainability is the worldwide is a bigger thing, alarming things. After natural like a sustainable development goal, SDG, we call as SDG 17 goals, even Earth that we are implemented for the medical, food, and the life security that we need to be achieved in 2030, but it's the biggest challenges. So though that we have this much resource to easily framework to be living luxury in Earth, but still we are struggling. But just imagine to be in a Martian environment or moon, no resource available, only is a dry land and empty land. What other things that you can do? So that's a biotechnology, the power that we need to be utilized to merge for aerospace and life science is opening new interdisciplinary career that we can do the research and innovation that can be stabilize the new life in Earth, beyond the Earth. And then what's space health and the life support system is currently is innovation is going on or already is developed for space mission. For example, for the biotech support for astronaut and health and longevity, that the people is now is, returning from the space like a space station, like people successfully completed 400 days or for the 300 days, like people continuously is getting the like a successful human test in the space station. And then also the very recently the India also sending for the like a astronaut that the stepping into the space station that last month that we had a news, the very recent news that one of the Indian origin, the Indian guy, he just want to go for the space station to do some research and innovation. India is the first, the person to being in for the space station. India is stepping in to explore next thing. And then what the biotech support and health longevity is mainly for immune system regulation. When compared to the, you can have a question. The space is completely free from the infection. Like we don't have any virus, like a pandemic, like Ebola or the coronavirus. Then what is the issue with the immune system? Immune system is the gravitational force. When it's a low gravity, the completely immune cells and immune system is getting the remodeled, and then is getting the threat for the like a stabilized immunity that you will have in space. And then also bone and muscle regeneration is a major things. When the low gravity is bringing further major issue for the bone desorption, like a resorption and desorption process will continue, and then the bone will be very thinner. The bone that we have stability here now, and then low gravity, your bone will be weaker, even that is highly fragile, that you will is a danger going to be is a broken from bone going to be broken. So that's a major thing. That's why if you are looking for the videos or movies, the astronaut they put the belt in their body and then stabilize the gravity, and then they do the exercise in a daily basis in space station to circulate the blood and then maintaining the bone density. As a life wise, other life support like a oxygen is a regeneration is a major concern. So the space flight is like a closed environment where that you can have for the oxygen, it's a breathable air. So we continuously exhale for the carbon dioxide, and where that we will get for the breathing air. So the research innovation like a microalgae, like a green algae, is a tiny plant that can be grown in space station, or you can plant for the Martian or for the other planet for settlement. you can use for the microalgae that can utilize for the waste, that can produce enormous oxygen that can be breathable air. And then also for the water purification using biomembranes. So I think this very sensitive statement. And then you all may be curious how the space station is a people can have drinking water. Are they bringing for every day? So like what we advising here, we have to have 3 liter or 4 liter water. We have to take compulsory for the healthy life. But how the astronaut staying in the space where they will get water? For example, for 4 crew members to staying in the space station for like a 300 days or 400 days can do for simple math. Per people, you need for 3 liter, like a 5 members, like a 15 liter per day. Can you imagine how many gallon of water that you need? Are we have space to hold that much water? Or every day is a cargo ship sending to the space that filling with the water? There is no possibility at all. Then how the human is currently the test going on in space station, 300 days or 400 days, how the human getting the water supply there is a very sensitive statement. The urine can be recycled and then people using as a drinking water. That is a very sensitive science and innovation that you have to recycle it and then we can have a drinking water. That is a thing. It's a biotechnology as a biomembrane or the filtering technology is developed. That is a current survival strategies going on in space station. Other like a waste recycling system, like how that you can limit for the food supply and then how to stop the waste recycling things. So those are innovation that we need for the space health and life support system. And another biomedical innovation as with the support of biotechnology, like a 3D bioprinting, stem cell research, 3D bioprinting, one of the cutting edge research and technology. Even that we can like you can go to the Google and then you can just find it. I need to 3D printed these toys or any like that dream that you have, any picture or any toys or anything that you want to do 3D printing is a online service available, but that power that can be utilized for the space project where that you want to develop something, you can immediately do the printing like you want to do, like you can have like a small holding cup or the bottles or any vessels or anything that you can do the 3D printing. And also microgravity includes a tissue layer. Okay, can we make any for the microgravity enhancing the tissue layer formation, that you can do the research. And then potential for organ printing in space, like can we 3D print for the heart if something happen? Yes, the research is successfully tested in Earth. The people is a 3D printed heart is they can is functioning. That can be research is currently is existing, and then also they are implementing for the next level. And then also for the space enabling for unique disease model like a cancer, as I said, is a radiation is a major things. So when you go for a deep space exploration, even you can go with the any like a protecting level for the shoot, like I can put the radiation resistant clothing, but still there are the minimal threshold that you will continuously you will expose to the radiation that will be danger for the cancer, other like changes in your body. So that also can be innovated, and also advanced for the diagnostic or personalized medicine, that we are in health that we all well documenting everyday lifestyle. For example, for a summer season, there are like a, different disease, or the winter season the different disease, or for the either people any history that the parents that you can have for you possibly you will get the particular disease that we have documenting. So we are giving a treatment or personalized therapy like that. But the Martian or space completely different lifestyle that we need to be document, and then we need to expect for the different personalized medicine that we need to support for the human mission. And then also the space agriculture is a growing demand for the beyond the earth research, where that you can have a food. So the food is we cannot carry for the food. So like for example that we all thinking tomorrow is like 10 people is planning to go for the Mars, or India also stepping in for the human mission to the space, like 27 like another 10 year the down the road is a roadmap 10 years, the India also is stepping into the space mission research. And then also NASA already is committed. The project which I have been working earlier is a human mission to the Mars like a 2030, but still is a lot of challenges going on. But why is the challenges? Is a major thing as a young researcher or a student level, that you have to have a very curious question. That space means that we have to think about the payload. What does it mean, payload? How much that you can carry over? You can think even for the traveling, like you maybe you planning for the vacation, or you want to go for the any internship or anything, as like a 2 days or 3 days, you want to just pack a lot of things. Morning started with your brushing or betting, all the entire day you have to carry a lot of things. But just imagine somebody's like, okay, 10 people or 5 people want to go for the beyond the earth for 5 years or 6 years or 3 years. Can you imagine how many things they need for survival? And then also spare parts. So you cannot just guarantee one thing can support for you entire your journey. It's not like that. So you have to have spares. So if you thinking that, how many things you can carry over? So the major challenges worldwide, the space mission is facing how much payload, how much metric ton that you are, the weightage that you are carrying, that much capacity that you propulsion that engine that you have to have, which means the lot of is the energy that required to lift up for the major weightage to the space. In specifically for the Martian travel, is the long distance that we have for the Mars to Earth, that we need to travel almost continuously 7 months, 7 to 9 month continuous travel to the Mars. It is a possible continuous 7 month. The people, crew members want to be inside the space flight, and then they need to travel for almost 7 months to reach for Mars. And then they want to do some research like almost 2 to 3 years, and then return journey almost 7 months, the same timeline, roughly 5 years. To totally 5 years of the timeline, the members they need to be planned, set up time for the food, medicine, and then what are the limited resource that they can carry over. So which means the space agriculture biotechnology, specifically for the space, that is a very is a innovative area. The research is going on in space, how to build for the space biotechnology. And then I can just raise one scientific question. I If any of the student that you following my talk, that you can have for one innovative question I said earlier, one info. The root is a following geotropism, and then suit is a following for the phototropism, which means you have to have a gravity to get the root downwards. But in a space, there is no gravity, which means what will happen? You want to grow any plant, all the root will be grown upwards. The root will not be will be in a gravity force, no gravity. The shoot and root will be grow together. If you put a light, shoot also grow upward and the root also will grow upwards. There is no geotropism. There is no sensing to have a plant protein to sense for the gravity. This is a major scientific question we have to address. So the space, they have a different innovation, how to keep the root inside the soil package, and then they can do some agriculture like lettuce and then some spinach or green veggies they can grow, and then they successfully develop the space agriculture things. That I'm part of the mission where that we have developed the innovation how to be developed a space agriculture. And then same agriculture, the food can be medicine. We can produce some antibodies or some proteins, therapeutic drugs that we can produce in plant, so that you can have food and medicine together. That is innovation. So means space biotechnology is a very innovative area and then growing demand. And then paralleling for the engineering for the microbes for planetary mission. That is another the biggest thing is going on worldwide. Then I can give some one exciting innovation the people is who going for the space, and then they are reporting several new bacterial species they have existing in space station, and then they're reporting, they're doing the sequencing, they're doing for the report. And on that particular note, they are just One scientist, he's from the Chengalpattu. He's currently in Caltech, and then also for the NASA Space Center. He found one bacteria, and then he put specific species name for our Abdul Kalam. So to honor for our previous president, like Abdul Kalam, he put a name like a Kalami. Kalam, he put a species name like a Kalami. So he put a, for example, Pseudomonas. Pseudomonas Kalami. So I'm just giving an example. So he put a species name, particularly to the bacteria. He put a Kalami to give a honor to our previous president to support for the space related innovation. That is one example that I'm giving. But where the engineering microbes, so the specifically I said for the Martian land is a dusty environment, completely red planet. This red color is specifically for the iron oxide. Iron oxide is a completely is showing the like a sand to be like a red color, and then that Martian land has a very high toxic. The toxic is need to be break down to be like a non-toxic compound. That power that microbes can do, like a recent synthetic biology and microbial engineering can be next like a forefront in the research that can be incorporated in planetary mission. So the microbes can have for the remediating for the toxic compound in the Martian land or the extra planet, and then also to have a fertile modification for the land and soil that can be cultivatable for the new plant and other things that slowly the life can be initiated. So the plan for the microbial engineering is a very high innovative research is going on. And then also for the genetic engineering, like other than the specific microbial engineering, genetic engineering and synthetic biology in space. So that also is like one of the innovative and then advancement research is going on where the genetic tool like a CRISPR, one of the last one like almost like more than decades now, the research is CRISPR is one of the novel genetic engineering tool where that you can remove the specific gene. I can give one example. If somebody have a diabetics, so the problem with the insulin is a hormone like insulin. They have a defective form of insulin. So the power of CRISPR, what the scientists is discover, you can replace the defective form of insulin gene, and then you can put the healthy gene or normal, like a functioning insulin producing gene that you can incorporate to the human. So that is a power that you can have with the CRISPR gene technology. And then also synthetic biology, okay, you can edit for any pathways. And then, for example, you are getting for the plant is producing for the metabolites. You are getting for any fragrance or any compounds that you are getting from the plants. That compound that you can do for a synthetic biology, you can engineer the pathway. You can put it the gene into the bacteria to produce in a large scale in industrial level that you can have a global supply. So that is a power for the CRISPR as a genetic engineering, and then also for synthetic biology that can step into the space biology that can be next revolution that we can have in the science. And then other things, the future direction, where the Mars and Moon, and then also the beyond, what we can do with the habit, like a biohabitats in space. For example, for specifically now the people looking to the Mars, where the Indians, we are the one is the first reported is that there is a water is existing in the other than the planet like Earth, there are water molecules existing. That research is now giving for the more support that can have for the next level research. That the picture you are showing here, like a cubes, like a controlled chamber where that you can build, and then the human can be inside to do the research and then produce a food and other medicine. They can survive and then do further research and innovation. How that you can do the new life in beyond the planet, like in Earth, where we are in India specifically. Very recently, the so far that we are getting the information, like NASA is sending to the human space, European agency, China is doing some research, like Australian space agencies, they are doing some research and innovation. But where that India is like one, we are the one is develop very cheapest cargo that we can easily land to the Mars. Successfully, we did. We reduced the cost like one third. The entire world is looking to us, like we can reduce the cost, that we are in a advanced research that we can do with the engineering domain. But are we doing anything for the human side? Space mission program. That evidence now the reason like Indian origin, the person is reaching to the space station. That is stepping into the biotechnology or the human related research, and alongside is the major agency like a Department of Biotechnology or like ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization. They put a joint partnership like a agreement together. They want to develop for the Bharatiya and crucial like a station like a BAS like a 2018 to 2035, like in down the road another like a 20 like a 10 to 15 years they want to do for the specifically with the biotechnology they want to incorporate to the space. Then they want to do all the possibilities whether we can do the agriculture or medicine or any other microbial technology, all type of biotechnological innovation that research India going to be bring, and then begin with the next decades. And then what are the career options? Like now that you know that where the entire exciting things can have for the space or the space related research. As a student, if you want to step into the space biology related things, what is a career option that as of now, what is availability? So most of the student, as a biotechnology student, definitely you will get the job related to the industry or any other medicine. But it's a curiosity that I want to be step into the space. That is, so many students now is focusing in the space. So as a space that you want to learn something with the SAYU biotechnology as a space, what you can do to the career option that you can have in routine biotechnology career. Other than that, that you can be role in astrobiology or bioastronaut, and then biomedical engineering for space, or environmental biosystem engineer, biomanufacturing for microgravity related environment, like employer space like agencies. And now early is a dream for the people like who want to be is a part of the NASA that we dream space, and including myself. So that I reached for the major innovation and research with the NASA. But now that we also have in India ISRO stepping into the biotechnology. So that means like we are expanding to the job opportunity like employer like space, NASA, ISRO, European agency, and then all those aerospace biotech by from like a Blue Origin, SpaceX. Now you all well aware about the SpaceX and the research lab like synthetic biology startup that you can do, and then core skills that you need to be developed: genetic engineering, space compatibility, bioprocessing, biomanufacturing, and system biology that we have to have. That as a SAYU that we have genetic engineering, we have bioprocessing, we have bioinformatics, and then we have synthetic biology as a syllabus, a curriculum we already included. And exploring space biotechnology at Sai University, as I said, is a Sai University biotechnology program. We launch your career into the future life science. Specifically for the, we offer for a dedicated course in space biotechnology. We have biotechnology, but we will incorporate the space biotechnology, whichever that I listed earlier, like for example, like a genetic engineering, space compatible for the bioprocessing, bioinformatics, and then system biology. These all included in traditional biotechnology course in Sayu Biotech. And then, just a minute. Sorry, just a minute. Yeah, Sayu Biotech. So that we will have a knowledge carrier, knowledge that we can bring to the students, that we will teach, that the student can explore something related to the space. And then also as an experience that I have that I can bring for some research. So now that I'm like, begin with some research and innovation that we can work on the space related projects that we can explore. And then Sayu that we have more than 40 different student club that we have, and one of the club that is specifically they are student, they are interested in the space related club that we have. So I'm mentoring for the student club for specifically work with the student. So now the active step that we have in the Sai University for the student for the space related things, as a biology background, as a biotech, space biotech, that I can bring to the next step into the teaching and research that I can bring for the as a student that I can support. So as a faculty that with experience in the space that I can give you the like a right hint that be a part of the tomorrow mission ready to biotech expert. And then starting right here at Sai University that student, if any of you willing to be here, or as getting in touch with the research, that we are here to support you for the next innovation to have research. Thank you for the wonderful time that you are listening. That I think I am in on time. And then now that we have 10 minutes, that you can have for the question, and then that we can further we can have brief discussion. Thank you, all of you.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah.
And participants, if you have any questions, you can raise your hand. You can post it to sir, or you can put in the chat box. Probably sir will answer that. Yeah. Thank you. Uh, While students are posting few questions, so one quick announcement. I heard that some of your students and parents have the queries of this hostel and transport thing.
Okay.
So probably students. So I think the admissions team and operations team of Sai University are working together. For best transport route and the hostel facility regarding allocation and other things. So probably they will send out an official email probably by next week, and they will also call individual students and parents and inform you about the arrangements. So it will be sorted by next week, so probably look out for communication. So meanwhile you can get in touch with the counselor. They will clarify the doubts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The students, if you do not have any question at the moment, it doesn't mean that you are not understanding the subject. But if you are interested or anything further discussion, that I'm available in the campus all the day, so you can come and directly you can express your interest, that you are willing to do anything, or you need to know any of the further things, that we can discuss one on one. That you can always welcome to the campus for the personal discussion. And then with this note, then I can also give one. I'm taking the opportunity as a being a Sai University faculty, and then we have launched very recently another school called School of Allied Health Sciences, in partnering with Apollo Medical, which means being a part of biotechnology in our campus, that you can also have a alongside for the biomedical the research, that you can definitely we can explore for the teaching and research with the biomedical also directly with the health also. And then also we have already with the biology program that we have. So biology that we already have successfully, we have running the research, and the student also is going abroad for the project. So we have successful student already with the biology. Now we are with the biotechnology, we are adding the domain to be biotechnology. And then very recently with the allied health sciences, which means the campus is completely open to have different experience as a student for you. So we look forward to have as a novel, the students to do a novel research, and then other stuff we definitely be looking forward. And then there are students you raise for the questions like what are the pros and cons for tuning desert into agriculture land? That's a very important question. As I said, like the nature is completely is, resetting the world. Like what is already existing, we can't live with the assets. For example, for the urbanization, we are just we can have a question with the city urbanization. We are just completely is like cutting down the agriculture land. We are expanding for the city like urbanization. Are we getting an issue? Of course, definitely we will get some drawback. But what is the science is addressing? For example, for agriculture, now that we have all the short varieties, like earlier, the even the rice, we have to have for a 6 month waiting period to have getting the harvesting the rice. Now, with the help of genetic engineering or the crop selection, we are getting like a half the time we can save, like in 3 months. Within 3 months, we can have for the rice. So likewise, in short varieties, like that is, and also high yielding varieties, all the innovation for the high yielding varieties, that also cut down for the time period, and then also with the limited land area, that we can have more cultivation and more productivity to save for the expanding global population. So likewise, the nature is like in revamping some of the land to be like a ocean. For example, for the island that we have, in Indian, like nearby the island. Now the island also for getting the like shrinking together, the island is getting the reducing, which means is the water level is rising, which means nature is default is taking the land area, which means we need to look through other area where that we can support for the human. So now the desert modification within the rule they are modifying, like there is a rule called this much land area that we have to have as a desert, this much land area we can have for the agriculture or the forestry, then this much area can be for the human urbanization. So the question is a very valid question. There are pros and cons, but it's not for the immediate impact. But the nature is takeovering for the different path that as a research that we have to address for the different direction. One that info I can give you. We say the Amazon forest is a like a extremely like a, important for the we can say this Amazon is a the world lung is a, we all breathing by Amazon forest. So how the Amazon forest is a richest biodiversity is a, the nearest desert, the sand is dumping the sand dust to the Amazon forest. The sand has a specific minerals, that minerals is giving for the richest plant growth support for the Amazon. That's why the desert and then Amazon forest is giving the amazing to the society. But the desert modification is not with the richest area where the concern to be conserved, but other area where that is a small area like a dry land is in Africa that they have very dry land, those area they are doing the biotechnological innovation to modify, that's the thing. So which means there are more advantages than the disadvantage, because nature is already starting for path that we can innovate. That's I think I answered for your question. Other one is sir, can I get a syllabus for a biotechnology? Yes, of course, that you can have with that. We all the our team members like a committee that we, our admission team that we all having the entire syllabus, the curriculum what we have with the biotechnology, then yeah, definitely you can get the biotechnology syllabus. As I said, the course like bioinformatics, genetic engineering, space, biotechnology, and then also for the system biology. And these all courses already be incorporated. Even you look through the same, but I'm giving the advanced note that we have already incorporated. So you can this can be supportive for regular biotechnology, and then advancement in space also you can do it. And then any other question? Yeah, do biotechnology get required in space research institute like ISRO and NASA? Yes, definitely. That's why I did my wonderful research with the NASA Space Center, and then I'm the part of the NASA Space Human Mission. Definitely, biotechnology is a required one, because in ISRO is now stepping into the. That's why the ISRO, Indian Research Organization, partnering with the government like a Department of Biotechnology, they are partnering together Space Biotechnology Program Initiation. So where that you can have advancement of biotechnology that you can have for the all support for the human mission for the future. Definitely, biotechnology is a growing field and then required field for the space. Any other question? Chat
Uh,
box.
yes, sir.
Sir,
There is one in the chat box.
yeah,
Let
I
me.
think the sir, how does microgravity affect cell growth? So as I said, microgravity, I can give, I already given the example, but if you're not followed that, I can give the similar example. The microgravity is a major concern where that you will get the proper blood circulation. For example, if I am an individual being in Earth versus I'm going for the space. In Earth already I am in a gravity force. The circulation already is practiced in myself. But if I'm going for the space, the gravity is no gravity, the circulation going to be slowed down, means all the essential like the blood related factors and everything, the circulation going to be slowed down. And then calcium is already is more with the blood is then the calcium is circulation is going to be slowed down, and then bone will our body will think no calcium in the blood, so all the calcium in the bone will be leached out, so we will get the trouble. So the calcium, in the sense of the bone, the cell we call it as a osteoblast. Osteoblast is a cell. The cell is a majorly supporting for the bone growth. That osteoblast cell will be disturbed by microgravity. that microgravity is definitely affect for the cell level factors in human for space research or the space flight or a travel. I think I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Sir, I think at registration level we have one question, and
Yeah,
that's
please.
from Sana Sukumar. The
Mhm.
question is, what are the biggest ethical or safety concerns with experimenting on genetic
I
material?
think
Are,
fantastic. I definitely I expected this question. I think the student who raised this a very smart question. I think he's following the definitely is a very good student. He raised a wonderful question. When we begin with the research, I'm giving an example very briefly, just one example. My research with the NASA, I developed bone regenerative medicine. That bone regenerative medicine you can take as a together with the food, which means I have produced bone regenerative medicine in lettuce. It's a leafy vegetable. An astronaut can have like a 2 leaf per day, and then leaf as a food and also as a hormone. We call it as a parathyroid. Parathyroid is a hormone as a medicine. I produce it in a leaf, so that the astronaut can have the per day requirement for the 20 microgram per person. The 2 leaf can be sufficient. So that's a innovation we step in, and by the time that we started the research, we all have a very deep discussion with the NASA, the higher official. As of now, we are doing the innovation for the space. There is no such a ethical level committee or the rules and regulation is implemented yet, which means still a door is open for the all the research and innovation. I think I really thank for the appreciate for the student. He raised a very valid question. Yeah.